Hello, hello. Welcome to PyroKitty's Tavern. Once again, today we are in the magical library of the tavern, finishing up our spooky, not scary month. This will be our last stream for October. I will not be streaming on Thursday, as that is the day, number one, I have a dentist appointment. Number two, Dragon Age Veilguard. Good job, Corta. So, I was just getting started here. Everybody should go follow Corteth. It's a great gaming stream. All right. Sorry, my brain, I'm tired today. I've just been tired all week, I swear. But anyway, so this is going to be our last stream for October. We're going to finish up Beacon Pines. Again, finally. We were supposed to finish it up on Thursday, but it just kept going. These last bit of the game is just keeps going. It's not a bad thing. It's just I have the guide, and one of the drawbacks of the guide is I use it to try and estimate how to break up my streams, right? And for this game, there's a lot of scenes, and the guide just all it does is says there's a scene. So I don't really anticipate, oh well, this scene is gonna last 5 to 10 minutes. And there's 20 of them in this chapter. So here we are. We're playing Beacon Pines. We are going to finish it today. We have to. This is, again, my last stream for October. And I can't do any surprise streams this week because I am going on a surprise overnight out-of-town trip. So, although this one is a much better surprise out-of-town overnight trip than my last one where my uncle passed away. So, this one I'm going to go see a armored dinosaur exhibit in Atlanta. So I'm excited about it. But I will not be streaming on Thursday, on Halloween. I will not be streaming. Number one, I have a dentist appointment, so that won't work out. And number two, that is the day that Dragon Age Veilguard releases. I believe the release time is 11 a.m. here at my time zone. So I'm going to be installing the game, and I'm going to be starting up my own personal game. I will be playing a personal game and then a separate game on stream. My stream game will be just for you guys. I don't want you to miss anything. I also don't want to be limited to my playtime for only when I'm streaming, because I'm going to be dumping a lot of hours into this game. I might even be having a third playthrough with Suntroa, if time allows. We'll see. So we'll be starting that up on November 3rd, the next Sunday. So I hope you guys are ready for that. I'm trying to see if there's any special little elements that I could come up with for the stream for you guys for Dragon Age month plus. But for right now, we're going to be playing in the tavern, and I'm going to be here, and we're going to play some Veilguard. And so yeah, so that is some upcoming, got some little housekeeping out of the way there. So let's go ahead and get into Beacon Pines and finish this game off. So if somehow we finish this game extremely quickly, much quicker than I anticipate it's gonna take. Again, it's hard to know because all I know is how many chapters are left and that those chapters have scenes. But if we manage to finish this very quickly, I do have a short game that we can that we could play afterwards. It's actually what I was planning on playing today, a game called Gone Home, which is in the spooky, not scary. It's kind of just a sort of a just kind of creepy but very short game. It's one of those, it's not really a game, more of an exploration, at least as far as I understand it. I've never played it. So if somehow we finish this lightning fast and I want to keep going, then we're going to play Gone Home as well. But I really am not anticipating that will happen, knowing how last stream went and how long these chapters towards the end of Beacon Pines have been going with their scenes. So let's get started. We are about to start chapter 9 again, this version of chapter 9. As a brief recap, we had just, let's see, we had a scene where we found out that Gran was Luca's mom that had been exposed to the whatever the weird chemical is. Yeah, I know, Corteth. It just sort of depends. If this, like, if we manage to finish this in like 30 minutes, I'm still gonna want to keep going. I've got steam for a while. If we finish this in like 2 hours, I'll probably call it then. But don't worry, I'm not gonna give you like a 30-minute stream unless I'll pre-warn you for any really short streams. I don't think I can only talk for 30 minutes. When I get talking, I'm gonna talk for a while. But so we had just found out that Gran was actually Luca's mom, who had been exposed to whatever this weird goop ooze stuff is that causes aging, or something. We don't know yet. We don't have that details. We just know it does weird agey sort of stuff. And we had a long scene of humming out a little song, and Gran did not drop the fire into the source, and we did not have an explosion at that point in time, at least. So now we are starting chapter 9, which apparently, at least according to my guide, is mostly just one big scene with where you choose different where you choose a charm or two. There's also a mini game that we will play at some point to get this just talks about to get the achievement, but I want to play the mini game. I want to get as much out of this game as I can. That's what I do. All right. So let's start chapter 9.
The Devil You Know.
The Devil You Know.
7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest.
Okay, so Eleanor Van Horn, that is Luca's mom.
She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen.
So that is the ooze. I think that's what it's called, is Tempus Liquamen, but we don't know much about it at all.
There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching.
Right, yeah. Instead of the fountain of youth, found the fountain of old.
She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? And once again, I apologize. I am not going to be keeping the same voices for these characters through different streams because I don't remember what I said, how I talked about, what voice I gave Care last time. I don't know. It's just coming to me each time. This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated. Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. Don't you see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the ever-tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that's burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, I expected a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter. Your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Care. Yes, sir? It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
So Sharper Valentine was the founder of Valentine's Fertilizers, who supposedly died mysteriously.
A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No! Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Care, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ah, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. I'm glad you're back so I could tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Care.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward! Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads me nicely to my children. Daddy? I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But Silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you failed me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about... It's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. These people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You are about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Care's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. Sorry, give me just one moment. My parents are actually on the road right now, and I just got a phone call. Let me just make sure they're okay. Sorry about that. They're driving home from Atlanta, and I just wanted to make sure everything was fine, and they are. They're just checking in. All right. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Well, those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill. Beacon Pines is mine again, and I'm willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Care was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all of this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Care. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire, at your service. Founder, I just wanted to thank you again for this opportunity. It was truly the role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Care was a patsy the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears the most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. If things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. Right, yeah. The pun pat. Yeah, I definitely got that pun. I am going to. Oh, where's my emote? Cheese the pun. That was a cheesy pun. Love the pun though. If you do exclamation point dad joke, SiriBot will put some puns in the chat as well. They're usually really bad dad joke puns though. I can't take my dog to the pond anymore because the ducks keep attacking him. That's what I get for buying a purebred dog. See? See? Oh, SiriBot. Bad SiriBot. Okay. Oh, but I can. I have one. Never underestimate what a great man can do, given time. And now, time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought, but well worth it. Ha!
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
All right. So now I need to go to here. Windows to the soul. So this time, this is back in a previous chapter where we were out on our own and we encountered Mr. Nuncreed. So Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed. Kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him. There was a... So last time we only had shame, but now we have malice.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course, I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. So this is when we were looking for Rollo back in a previous iteration where Rollo had disappeared. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. All right. I need to head this way. Identify yourself, please. Nelly Meowdle. Modewell. Meowdle. Modewell. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. That is like a really creepy slogan for a company. If you ever work for a company and their slogan is, our harvest awaits, it might be an evil company. I'm just saying. Okay. So now... So now we're gonna do, I think it's like a little mini fishing game sort of thing. You're at the fishing pond, interact with the chair.
Whenever Luca saw his dad's chair by the pond, it reminded him of the days they'd pack up a couple of sandwiches and fish until sundown.
So now I am Bebe Luca. Very young Luca. Alright, so how do I do this? To the right is the bait box.
Luca opened the tackle box and picked the perfect bait.
Huh, so these are our charms. Okay, so we have to do this little mini game using all 8 of these charms. So we'll just start at the beginning.
Luca gently baited a feather onto the hook. Good for skimming the surface.
Give it a good cast now. He doesn't say anything. I see. Easy there, buckaroo. You don't know your own strength. Okay.
Luca gently baited a feather. Good for skimming the...
I see. So... hold A to slowly reel it in, but release it to lower tension. So make sure the rod is not... okay. Come on. Well, I'll be switched. It's your old rubber ducky. You were just a little drooling ball of fur when you lost that. Cried for days. I told you it'd turn up.
Luca tied a shoestring to the hook. What fish could resist a nice shoestring?
Has everybody been having a good week? Good day? My week's been interesting. Where do you think the other one is? Hard to say. Sometimes things drift away. That's not fair. No, it's not. Well, wherever it is, I hope that other boot at least has a sock to keep it company.
Luca tied a small magnet to the line, fishing with the law of attraction.
Where do you think the lock is for this key? Now, why would we want to find that? Because we would want to know the secret. Gah, that's no fun. The second we know what it unlocks, it just becomes a boring old key. Right now, this key could unlock anything. Cool.
Luca wrapped some tape around the hook. Hey, you never know.
It's got a bunch of big words written on it. Let's see that. We regret to inform you that your application for property rights with respect to the Beacon Pine CBD and surrounding area has been rejected. Who is that for? Applicant Valentine Estate. Good. Good.
Luca stuck a toy stretchy hand onto the hook. Those things always get dirty anyway.
So as I was saying, our next stream is going to be next Sunday. I believe it's November 3rd, but it's next Sunday. And we're going to start our playthrough of Dragon Age the Veilguard. I'm going to go ahead and create our character before the stream, because the character creator is a very involved character creator, and I don't want to take up an entire stream just creating a character. So I'm going to do that ahead of time so we can jump right into the story. I will give a warning, and I'm probably gonna post this on Twitter once I know more for sure. There is a slight chance that that stream will be ever so slightly delayed, maybe by about 30 minutes. I have an event going on in Final Fantasy 14 with my FC, my guild, and it's supposed to start 30 minutes before I start my stream. So I'm gonna try and keep my 1:30 schedule, but we'll see. Like I said, it might be about 30 minutes late, just as a heads up. But I will post on Twitter, so if you want to follow me on any of my socials, on my Twitter or my Facebook, either one, they both post the same thing. Eventually, I'm gonna get a Blue Sky going. I haven't yet, though. For now, it's just Twitter or Facebook. I'm just gonna post on there and just mention as well, probably Sunday morning when I know a bit more what's going on in my guild event. But don't expect a big delay. I'm not canceling or anything. Like I said, probably just maybe a 30-minute delay. All right, what is this? click back to the correct screen. There we go. Should we give it to Mom? She likes jewelry. That's a sweet thought, Buckaroo. But I'm not sure she'd fully appreciate a pond bracelet.
Luca placed a sinker on the line. Sometimes the best stuff is at the bottom of the pond.
What's got this time? Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard liquor for a hard man. Best leave that be. Takes a real piece of work to leave something like that lying around.
Luca wrapped a twig of thyme around the hook. Some fish have refined taste.
I also want to give a heads up for my regulars here. Once I start streaming next month for Dragon Age Veilguard, there is a chance that my chat might get a little bit more wild. I don't know. It's a brand new game coming out with a bigger audience, so I'm not sure what to expect. So just I'm gonna try and moderate myself as best I can and keep an eye out for any smellies, as one of my other streams would say. There's no smellies allowed here. So property of Sharper Valentine. Figures. If he had his way, property of Sharper Valentine would be written on everything in this town. Should we give it back to him? He may not even want it back. That man's got a contentious relationship with time. We'll keep it here in case he ever wants to pick it up. Oh, last one.
Luca tied a bent nail onto the line. If all you have is a hammer...
It's a photo of you and Uncle Joseph. Let me see that. Huh, look at those two young fools. How did it end up at the bottom of the pond? Who could say? Some things are just hard to explain. I miss Uncle Joseph. How come he doesn't come fishing with us anymore? He's busy at his new job at Valentine's. What's a new job gotta do with fishing with us? It's complicated. Like I said, some things are hard to explain. Well, that's quite a haul. Feels like a good time to pack up. Just a little bit longer. If things lasted forever, they might not feel as special, huh? I guess. I'll make you a deal, Buckaroo. If you ever feel like you need to talk about anything at all, you just say, let's go fishing, and I'll know what you mean. Like a secret password? Yeah, top secret. Neat. All right. And now to continue with the main current story. Rolo?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rolo! Rolo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire, the source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone." Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo." Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Stop right there, or I'll... Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognize me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now, or I'll clobber you with a baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rolo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rolo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it's really you, prove it. Flamin' chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rolo, only bigger, or changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I met... Oh! When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Dunno. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold, smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look!
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower, but beggars can't be the choosers. Rollo, it isn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang! Pa just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Kinda tasted like licorice. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sorta smashed open my cage and escaped. Whoa, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage. Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger? Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey, ya fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah, take cover. Did I come at a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened and I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out here with your large adult friend? No. This is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know, this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly treehouse? I think you mean your silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca? This is why we need to improvise security, to improve security around here. Not now, Rollo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rollo. This has been a weird day all around, hasn't it? Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. Alright, we have an ad break about to start. So I'm not going to continue because it seems like that might go into a longer scene. So we're going to go ahead and take a moment. We do run 3-minute ads on this channel, so I apologize for the longer ad, but that means there's no pre-rolls, and we get them all out of the way in 3 minutes of an hour. So while we're doing the ads, while the ads are going, I'm not going to be playing any more of the game. That's my thing. I sort of stop, and we're going to have a hydrate break and a stretch break. I usually take the opportunity to stand up and stretch my legs a little bit. I'll mute the mic for just a moment while I do that for those who aren't in ads. Excuse me. So yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to play the game while you're in ads. Just take this opportunity to stretch yourself, and to get a drink of water. All right, and for those who are not in ads, I'm going to mute the mic for just a moment while I stand up and stretch my legs. I'm not taking a break or anything. I'm just stretching my legs, but I don't want to bump the mic. Also, I have a very loud chair that makes a lot of noise when I scoot it back and forth. All right. Get everything resituated here. We've got 2 minutes of the ads left, and then we'll continue on. It looks like, again, I was saying this like all whole stream on Thursday, but it looks like we're in the home stretch. As far as I can tell, we won't be going. This is the first. So at the start of this, we went back to the beginning of chapter 5, and this is the last time we'll be going backwards. So bad. Let's look at some dad jokes. I cut my finger chopping cheese, but I think that I may have greater problems. Oh, Siribot. Siribot. Did you hear about the 2 thieves who stole a calendar? They each got 6 months. But ching. I'm sorry, I don't have a soundboard. That's one day I'll have a soundboard. That's my channel commands. You want to know what game I'm playing? Oh, strange. There it goes. Just a little delayed. Oh, Beacon Pines is on sale. That's good to know. Good to know indeed. Welcome back from the ad break, everybody. Thank you so much for bearing with my 3-minute ads. Thank you for supporting the tavern. So while we were on ad break, I used my game command and realized that Beacon Pines is on sale on Steam right now. So if you are enjoying this game and want to pick it up for yourself, right now it is only $7.99. I think it's usually $19.99, so not sponsored at all. I just know people like to know things about the games. There is a link to the Steam store there. I am enjoying it. If anybody else is enjoying it and wants to pick it up for themselves, it's on sale. All right. Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try to salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. There we go. Okay. Just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You're the one who said change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Oh. Hold on just another moment. One of my parents is calling me again. I just want to make sure they're okay. Sorry about that. They actually just got home and wanted me to drop their key down to them because I was watching their house for them while they were out of town. So bear with me just one more moment. I'm going to mute the mic while I go drop that down to them, and I'll be right back. All right, so sorry about that. Like I said, they just got back home and wanted me to give them their key back. Okay. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I just took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go to work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Care decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Care guy seems like a grade A creep. Beck! He is! Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come up and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey, but that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more,
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kinda like this look. Great. Can we get back to the story now? This next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Care, are you there? Mr. Care. Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies. I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on the new lead research of deep engineering? Nellie Modewell seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had the chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor? Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays in line. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir. I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risk. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to Perennial Harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay, just for a bit. Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, as far as we know, Care is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we have an even topper banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked about the job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of there before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her until then. So, if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help. You have blueprints? Well, this really just, I can talk, I promise. Well, it's really just a welcome map from Mom's PH orientation day, but it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting! This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology. Not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in one day, and they each had their assignments.
Alright, quick recap. Rollo, you're gonna talk to Roxy. Cordially. Without her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me? Cordial is my middle name. Uh-huh. And how do you plan to explain your new...
Vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
circumstance? Bah, she'll be so happy I'm alive she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Ilona won't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay. That leaves me with Jeff, then Iggy. How are you gonna persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Enlist the help of Jeff. Enlist the help of Iggy and Tish. All right. So... oh, missed the turn. Bottom right, past the statue. So this is Jeff.
Jeff's hardware closed down about a year ago. The effects of the foul harvest stretched wide. When there are no crops in the field, tractors don't need fixing.
Hey, Jeff. What can I do for ya? Well, I know how much you hate perennial harvest. Hate's a strong word. Oh, sorry, I mean... I didn't say it was the wrong word. Gotcha. So, we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
You see? I knew you kids were all right. Great, so you'll help?
The joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance. But Give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Hide.
Jeff's brow perked up.
What'd you say? Go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not afraid.
Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff, and they all do. But you'll never hear him say I hid from nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed? Some sort of disguise. I've got just the thing. And while we're at it, that crate should come in handy. This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gobs should cover it. Put it on my tab?
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning. Now we need to get Iggy and Tish. Bully. Hey Tish, look who it is. Luca, are you here to try and tickle us to death again? Just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been bags of shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong. But lately, life has been kinda... strange, you know?
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we... break our hostilities, at least for now. We do like breaking things. Even if a truce means less breaking. What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff? Go on. I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My, Luca Van Horn. I'm impressed. And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out at the treehouse sometime.
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the
A single
treehouse.
tear ran down Tish's cheek.
I never expected this day to come. How wonderful.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive. A good heist requires preparation. And thorough preparation takes time. Something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. We are locked and loaded on my end. And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach Perennial Harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe. 90% confidence. Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out his arms.
Just stay calm, Rollo. You could do this. Got your delivery here. A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery scheduled for this morning. Right.
He had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that it be kept secret.
Rollo sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Our harvest awaits. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear anything about... Yeah, this is a need-to-know kind of thing. I'll just check.
He stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this form.
Rollo interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
Our harvest awaits. Sir, that is a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. Ready to light the candle, Tish? Yup. Suck on this, perennial ham fist. What was that?
The distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I've got a job to do.
The clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay. Phew. That was close. Our harvest awaits? Hey, I figure, when in doubt, stick with the classics? Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do? Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck, in case she needs some muscle. I'll head east to the founder's office. You two be safe. Locate the founder's office. So this place is a maze. So I'm going to probably stop every couple minutes to read my guide. Past the water cooler. So next, keep going to the right. Walk past the plant. Stand on the black mat. Solomon?
Solomon stopped in his tracks.
Luca, what are you doing here? It's a long story. Are you okay?
A veneer of Confusion flashed across Solomon's face. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Some strange people grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and locked me up, and when we were distracted, I ran. Dang. Okay, you should stick with me. We've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah, Rolo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't leave just yet. But they'll catch us again. I've got to do something. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I do think I saw a door that said Founder. It was just down this way.
I happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Office of the Founder. Knocking comes with consequence. Oh, here it is. So it is. It's pretty lucky that I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Tried the handle.
Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how we could possibly defeat a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Just wait a minute. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like it.
She mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How did you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Frollo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked number 24601. Need you to get us through. What if someone catches us? We should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friends, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
How did you just guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rolo heard when he was down here before. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the Founder uses such a basic password. Or they were thinking several moves ahead and not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rolo, I think this should do it. Bingo bango, doors open. Luca, you never fail to impress. What is that slippery lout even doing down here? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luca, I think we're close. The next door is marked number 13806.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Maybe this one opens the lock. Crap, we've got company. Luca, must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this noise.
He skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is, 13806. Go, go, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you were just trying to help. Rollo, are you okay? Rollo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're trapped.
With self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rollo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost him. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two rabble-rousers are coming with us. Nope. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there. After them. Okay, I think that worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rollo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom! Oh, honey, what did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy. I finally used the young chemist's lab kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most frustrating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of a growth spurt? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not possible.
Leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the enamel of molars, consistent with Tempest liquamine exposure. Is that what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on at this place? I was brought here to work on the discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempest liquamine. It pulls energy from its surrounding in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source, infusing small amounts of liquid of Tempest liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time. But it led to complications. The foul harvest. Perennial Harvest came in to clean up the mess, to succeed where Valentine failed. But Tempest Liquamine is rebellious. Rebellious? You could think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's volatile by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempest Liquamine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve this successful result before today's festival. But you didn't, right?
We sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes that someone of his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Meh, those clothes were all hand-me-downs anyway. It sounds like Dr. Prescott figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. Sorry about that. Just got a text message from Suntroa, who just got off work. I had considered that possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we gotta get you out of here. Like, now. Wait, the vial. I finally solved the chemical equation, allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luca, we've got Dr. Modewell heading your way now. Roger that. Be careful. All right, everything's on track. And what is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when we get there. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some more info. Let's see what else this bad boy has on it. Security system. Morning, Tandos. How are you? Thank you for the lurk, Shiro. Welcome on in. Always appreciate the lurks around here. Lurking is love on Twitch. I'm doing okay. How are you? My goal is to finish Beacon Pines, which every time I think we're about done, it just keeps getting longer. Which isn't a bad thing. It's a fun game. Enjoying some late night gaming. It's always fun. Yeah, I love story-focused games. You don't want to go to work today, Tandos? I hear ya. I didn't have to work today, thankfully, but I had to work yesterday, and I was exactly that same way. So while I have a few more people here, I just want to give a reminder that I will not be streaming on Thursday, on Halloween itself, but I will be streaming next Sunday, November 3rd. We will be starting our Dragon Age Veilguard streams. It's probably going to go on for quite some time. I do plan on having a full stream game, so we will be playing it until we're done. I don't know how many hours long the game will be, but we're going to keep playing it. So be prepared for that next Sunday. Speaking of story-focused games, starting Dragon Age, the Veilguard, and we're going to keep on going and going. As a side note, next Sunday's stream might start a little later. I will post on my Twitter and Facebook. I have an event going on in Final Fantasy 14 with my friends that starts a half hour before I usually start my stream. I'm going to try and finish that and get started my stream on time, but might be a slight delay, no more than like 30 minutes or so. But just a heads up, I will post on both my Twitter and Facebook. Other little housekeeping while I have some more people here. Oh, so for Dragon Age, I will be creating the character before stream. The character creator is apparently pretty robust, and I just don't want to take up a whole stream day just doing a character creator. I feel like that might just get boring. So I'm just going to go ahead and have the character created, and then on Sunday next week, we're just going to dive right on in with our Rook and have a fun time playing through Veilguard. Thank you all for joining in. Let's keep on going here in Beacon Pines. We will finish Beacon Pines today. We have to. That is my goal. Alright, so we just check our control panel, and it's a security system. Oh. Click back to the right window. Time card logs. Payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you suspected. It looks like the founder was helping Care plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
Still warm. He must have been in here recently. Malice 80 proof whiskey. A hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly. You're no bother at all. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it, lock it. Locked. That was close. When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Brolo. Before we start tossing blame around, is it possible someone ordered a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from the heisting business. we're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. Everyone else, huddle up. Oops. I think this little caper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no. Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Modewell, a brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and I can talk, I promise. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Perennial harvest, Valentine fertilizer, all connected by a single thread. Yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Ah, yes! Now you've got it. Tempus liquamine. You discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Modewell. Very good. Though the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
And the effects went a little too far for my taste. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present you the eighth wonder
Before
of
he
the...
could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool! You have no idea what is in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about
Rollo
it.
casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a
He held
taste.
the vial mockingly.
Seize him! Luca, over here! Move another inch and I'll smash it.
She held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine, risk killing us all. Or, if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less
He
leniency.
pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word, if you hand it over now, none of you will be harmed.
A deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. There's no shame in being outwitted by someone who's smarter than you. We both know there's only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Mr. Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir. And to think all of this is thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn. I don't understand. How is this all because of me? Ha! I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be part of something great. But the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luca, your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I will return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You three, keep post outside the door. Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what's now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rolo, you just need some time. Rolo, it's over. We lost.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a moment to calm my mind. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know. It's just, we were so close. I've got a feeling that eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note, hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at Perennial Harvest was growing short, so he left behind a letter, with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents... Luca, I think they were meant for you. Why? What did it say? It was about an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with the stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest liquamine.
The color dropped from Luca's face.
She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where has she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull.
Oh, Okay, so we're about to have another ad break, so I'm gonna wait here because it feels like there might be a scene that happens after this dialogue. Ad's gonna start here in less than a minute. Like I said, I'm not gonna play while ads are going, but take this opportunity to do a quick stretch break, drink some water, unshrimp yourself. Oh, stretch. All right, so ads are going to start here very soon, and then we will get back to playing. We are definitely going to finish this game tonight at some point. Doesn't look like we're super far from the end, but there are some scenes. Oh, there's the ads. If you could still hear me, thank you for subscribing. Or thank you for being Turbo. Let's look at some dad jokes. Two peanuts were walking down the street. One was assaulted. Oh. One was assault. Oh, that is Siribot. Siribot. Come on now. That's bad. That's bad. A red and blue ship have just collided in the Caribbean. Apparently the survivors are marooned. Really? Oh, that's bad. Maroon. Oh. Siribot. Bad dad jokes. Oh. Could also do dog fat. A dog's sense of smell is reduced by up to 40% when he's overheated and panting. Interesting. Dogs have 3 eyelids, including one to keep their eyes moist and protected, which is called the nictating membrane. Most mammals have them. Actually, most animals in general. Humans do not, though, which is weird. We probably did at one point in time. Less than a minute left in the ads. Thank you for bearing with us. Apologize for well, I don't know. The ads help support the channel, however little bit they do. Let's see. Everybody stretch. Take a drink of water. Get hydrated. Oh, and we're back from ads. Thank you all so much for your patience. Thank you for supporting the channel. All right. With me just a moment. Okay. So, get back to the right window here.
Chapter 8 Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Gran got it. Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We're here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rolo. Hey, Mrs. Hey, Mrs. Lucas Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh no. What did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We've got to stop
In
him.
one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No! Well, I guess that's it. We lost. I wouldn't be so sure about that.
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back?
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little... Ooh.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little malice.
Malice? The whiskey from his office? Yep, the dude had an unfinished glass on his desk. Figured his grow juice could use a little hair of the dog. You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Wow. Was not expecting that. Now that's what I call 80 poof whiskey. Damn, dude.
The crowd gazed in stunned silence at the now empty stage. The quiet was broken when William Kerr sprinted off stage and into the distance. He was never seen around Beacon Pines, or anywhere else for that matter, again. Watching the silhouette of Kerr disappear over the horizon, Luca began to laugh. First, a low chuckle that became uncontrolled, heaving laughter. Through his tears, he was vaguely aware that the crowd had begun to laugh with him. The end. That was unexpected. Perhaps a bit of an absurd ending for my taste, but who am I to say? I'm only writing the damn thing.
Okay, so now we're going to try the vial again. And we're going to go with junk.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
Can't wait to see the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. How did the ashes get into the vial? It was pretty easy to mess with the vial when it was behind my back. Oh, that's sneaky. Well, it's a bad habit anyways. Pa always says bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. Huh? Hard to kick. You can call me Sharper
His
Valentine.
body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit.
As the last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed. Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines. A new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future. The end. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way.
Oh, we got one more to try here, and that is change.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
Like, pocket change? Your unlucky penny! Yeah, I plopped it into the vial when no one was looking. What's that gonna do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Now, we observe. You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Holy crap, he's a baby! Yeah, but he's still Sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. This is an innocent child. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused
Eris
you.
awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we... We do what Valentines always do. What must be done. I'll hurry home and prepare a crib for young Sharper. That would be a great help. Thank you.
She looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone. The show is over. You may leave now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pines' coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had, and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn. His mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Let's get through the epilogue. Alright. Into the living room. Exit the house. Check in with Rollo at the treehouse. I hear you and Rollo have a big plans for that little treehouse. Yeah, it started getting crowded after we revoked the max capacity one Rollo, one Luca rule. so we decided to expand. But at least we've got some help with that. How's the internship at Nellie and Alona's shop going now? It's been great. It helps me get into the School of Agriculture up at the state. Also, Nellie said she'd write a letter of recommendation, which would be huge. I just can't help but worry about leaving Rolo. He's grown up so fast, but he's still my little brother. Yeah, he had a heck of a growth spurt. I don't just mean grown, literally. This morning he was up and finished his chores before I even had breakfast. Well, some of that might be his excitement about the treehouse renovations. Don't tell him this, 'cause it'll go to his head, but I'm really proud of that little punk. I'm sure he feels the same way, but he's just too dang proud to tell you. I know. Planting some trees. Hey Gus, how's the tree planting going? Couldn't be better. I'm so grateful for Ilona and Nellie for letting me help. I just wasn't built to be a mayor. Too much bureaucracy. Gus, we finished cleaning up the sidewalks. What's next?
When perennial harvest collapsed, most of the clipboards skipped town, but some stuck around and dedicated themselves to making things right.
Anyone with a knack for art can help art can help paint the new offices. You can count on us. Well, it looks like you really found your calling. I never really felt comfortable telling people what to do. Now, this right here. This is something I can be proud of. Luca, get this. I managed to reel in an actual fish this morning. Seriously? Yeah, an honest-to-goodness, flippin', floppin', swammin' fish. I don't think I ever caught an actual fish here. Been at least 7 years since I've caught one. I'd say it's a good omen. What'd you do with the fish? Oh, I released it back into the pond. I'm hoping to catch it again tomorrow. A little higher. Yep. A little lower. Yep. Little higher. Yep. I'm telling you, the angle isn't the issue. We need more power to the radio. Luca, there you are. Would you tell him it's not the angle? Hey, I'm not in charge of antenna redesign. Fine, fine. Iggy, just don't do anything drastic till we get back. Who, me? Tish, you're in charge while I'm gone. Yep. They'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. If we really want mission control to turn into something bigger and better, we've got to loosen our grip a bit. You're right. Lead the way. I see you decided on a name. Yep, we had to clear out all of the old stuff before putting on the final touch. Slow and Dirty Harvest is now official. I like it. It was actually Nellie's idea. There's still a lot of work to do, and the name serves as a reminder. Just because progress is important doesn't mean change should happen fast. In fact, I've learned that the more you care about something, the more important it is to take things slow. Our motto is, go slow and fix things. I'm into that. This is just kind of the wrap-up talk to folks. Young Mr. Van Horn. How's little Solomon, Sharper doing? Young Sharper seems to enjoy nature more than I. So we do a lot of strolling these days. Has he, attempted to crawl out of his crib and plot world domination? Yeah. Thankfully, no. I spoke at length with Dr. Modwell, and she feels that Sharper's infant mind was not developed enough to retain his previous memories. For all intents and purposes, the child is unmolded clay. Let's hope he's a little nicer the second time around. That is the objective, yes. But really, all I can do is try and hope. 2 activities I am endeavoring to find less distasteful. Well, I think you're doing a great job. And the whole town is ready to help out however we can. I can't wait to teach him how to throw a baseball.
Eris did her best to ignore the tears welling in her eyes.
That would be acceptable. Okay. This way. Hey, Mr. Nuncreed. I'm gonna go see my dad in a bit. Did you want to come with? Even after everything I did, you'd still...
Mr. Nuncreed shook his head.
You really are your father's son, aren't you? I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, you're always invited. I bet he'd love to hear from you. I'll visit Walt in my own time. You run along now.
With perennial harvest gone, the transportation tubes were left unused.
Come on, come on. No one is too big, no one is too small. For Jeff's wild ride.
Well, maybe not completely unused.
Just one piece of candy. For the ride of your life. Who's next? Alright. And this way. I have news I think you'll enjoy. This morning, I unpacked my last box. You're officially moved in. It's just a box. Let's not blow this out of proportion. Sounds an awful lot like putting down roots. I guess I decided this place is root-worthy. You're gonna be stuck with me for the foreseeable future. I do have to warn you, most years aren't going to be as interesting as this one. I think I'll manage. Ready? Before we go, there's a bit of a surprise. My mom's prepared this tree especially for you. They didn't have to do that. It wasn't just them. Just about the whole town pitched in. We all owe you. It should be okay. It should do okay in the cold of old Beacon Pines. And thrive as things warm up. That's perfect. Ah, you got it. Now that's a good looking treat. Being a special occasion and whatnot, A ride's on the house. You're gonna want to hang on tight to that little tree.
I think this is it. The end I've been waiting for. Honestly, I began to lose hope of ever finding it. But then you came along. I don't know exactly how to thank you. It's hard to explain how much this means to me. It's funny, now that our time together is finally ending. I'm at a loss for words. Let's just watch the end together.
Done. A good little tree. The best little tree. Thank you, children. This means a lot. Yeah, thanks for everything. Shucks. I only did what any super awesome best buddy would have done. We should probably give you some time alone now. You good? Yeah, I am. It's been a wild year. How are you feeling? Everyone keeps asking me that. I'm fine, really. Pa always says the only thing fitter than a fiddle is a cello. I feel like a dang cello. Well, if you ever stop feeling like a cello, I'm here for you. I know. You don't even have to say it. You two make an awesome pair. Excuse me? We're a trio now. Yep. Thanks. There's only one thing missing now that you're part of our group. Missing? Let me tell you a little story about a man named Hank Atomic. Oh, God. I won't be long. We'll be waiting for you back at the phone booth. I found the perfect way to start our summer. You've got some good friends. I'm so proud of you. Your father would be so proud. I know. Mom, can I ask you a question? Do you ever dream about Dad? Not a night goes by that I don't. Are you ever afraid that you're going to forget him? Forget what he looked like? Forget his voice? No, because so much of him lives on in you. He loved that old tree, but I know he would have loved this one more, because his two favorite people planted it. I'll give you two a moment. Hey, Dad. Dr. Modewell says that over the next few years, this place should warm up. So you won't have to be so cold for much longer. I think I finally understand why you left that night. There were things you believed in. Big things. Those beliefs were the things that made you, you. If you wouldn't have stood up to Sharper, stood up for what you believed in, you wouldn't have been the same person anymore. You had to go. But that didn't mean you loved us any less. Sorry about that. I might not visit you as much as I used to. I know you understand. And that is the end of Beacon Pines. We did it, guys. We did it. It only took several hours longer than I expected, but we did it. All right. So that is... I'm going to go ahead and end the stream for today. Suntroa is on his way home from work, and he picked up some groceries and some dinner, so let me go ahead and swap us... Alright, let me go ahead and swap us over here. Thank you all for joining us in the tavern today. Thank you for joining me for playing Beacon Pines. And like I said, we will not be having a stream on Thursday. We will pick up on next Sunday, November 3rd. I think it's the 3rd. I've been saying the wrong date this whole time. Okay, yeah, no, I haven't. I've been good. Sorry, I had to check the date. So yes, we will pick up next Sunday, November 3rd. Around 1:30, might be closer to 2 o'clock. I apologize. It might be starting a little late. I'll let you know on my Twitter or my Facebook. And we will begin an exciting time, guys. We will begin Dragon Age the Veilguard. My current plan is for us to have a rook in the Shadow Dragons faction, and elf in the Shadow Dragons faction. That's my current plan. Like I said, I'm going to be working on character creation for our stream character after the game comes out. I'll probably actually be creating it Sunday morning because I'll be playing my own personal playthrough on Thursday or on Friday and Saturday. So thank you all for joining me. Please don't run away just yet. We are going to spread this love and raid out to somebody. Let's see. Who can we go find? Let's go raid into... You know what? Let's go support some charity. One of the people I follow, her name is Karen Day is my name. Today she is doing a St. Jude charity stream. I believe she is singing today. Usually she does pyrography or wood burning art. But I think today she is doing a singing stream for charity. She is also in costume and has a guest who is signing for doing British Sign Language for the stream. So let's go right into her and help support her charity. Don't feel obligated to donate anything, guys. I am not pushing. I'm not pushy like that. I just want to go give her some support. We are not going to raid Karen Day is my name. She will not. Her stream is not allowing raiders for some reason. That is very weird. I've raided into her before. Alright. We will... Let's see. Who else is on? Who else is on? Let's raid into Astro Canuck. He is building the Ecto-1 Lego right now. He usually does space photography, astrophotography, and some telescope work. But let's go right into him and watch today's Lazy Sunday Lego. He's working on the Ecto-1. Let's spread the love. Thank you guys all for joining me, and I will see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.